Welcome. How y'all doing this evening? Hey, my name is Jared. I'd like to welcome you out this evening. Talking about our 10 essentials tonight. So hopefully you're all excited about this and ready to jump in. My name is Jared, Northwash Outfitters. I've been guiding and teaching for a bit over a decade now. I've been running Northwash Outfitters. I think we just finished off our 12th or 13th season. I've been talking about a lot of this stuff for the last several years as we've been guiding and taking people out. So excited to kind of get with you tonight and meet and discuss some of this stuff. Hope you'll jump into the chat room and say hi. Jump in and ask us some questions. I won't be exactly able to look at all the questions right now as we go through this. I'm going to be kind of going through my presentation here. I'll be kind of looking up here at the camera a little bit with you guys and back down at my computer for periodically here just as I try and coordinate this back and forth. So welcome, welcome. Hopefully you're looking forward to this. So really quick, contest time. I'd like to start this off with a little bit of contest. So I want to know who's out there with us and who's participating. So aside from just jumping on the chat, if you hit that little share button down on the YouTube screen, hit share and share this on your Twitter feed and hit the hashtag Canyon Chat and tag at Northwash, @_Northwash. There's my Twitter handle there under my name. So tag that real quick. Out of the tags that we get on this, I'm going to pick a winner out of that, and I'll DM you and send you one of our nice Northwash Outfitters ball caps and some stickers. So shoot us a DM or shoot us a link on Twitter and share this with your friends and followers. Let them know you're watching, and we'll pick a DM and send you out a hat and some stickers. So hopefully you're excited and ready to go. Really quickly, if you're new to the channel and new to following us, hit that subscribe button real quick while you're there and the bell notification. That'll kind of give you an idea next time when we do these live chats. I'm going to start doing these periodically and just giving back to the community, sharing some of my experiences, looking for an opportunity to chat with you and help you out with the canyoneering and backcountry travel and stuff. So hit that bell and hit that subscribe so you know when we're going live. If you have any issues with the feed, please let me know. If you have any problems, I'd love to hear about it as we work out kinks and stuff. Like I said, I'm going to be kind of back and forth on my computer here as we go through this and work through this. The show tonight is me. It's my experience. It's things that I've done over the years, things I've learned, things I've been taught that I want to pass on. Show's not sponsored by anybody. It's just me and Northwash Outfitters here. I guess if you want to count them as a sponsor. But I'm going to be talking about some gear and some equipment and stuff. And just so you know, none of this stuff that we'll be talking about has been sponsored or stuff. It's just things that I've used and been experienced with. A lot of the photos and images that you'll see I just pulled off of Google for the presentation, so I don't have any affiliation with anything or any of them for the most part. Some of the equipment I do sell through Northwash Outfitters, but like I said, nothing sponsored tonight. So, all right, so let's jump over into it. We've got a few people on the stream right now. Welcome, welcome. Jump into the chat, and I'll jump back over here in a few minutes and check again and see if you have any questions. I'll do a Q&A section towards the end where I will play a couple of videos, or a video I guess, and jump into the chat and answer any questions too when I'm not talking and not having to focus on that. So we'll have a period there where I can be in the chat room and visiting with you while the video's playing at the end. So, all right, 10 essentials for backcountry travel. It's kind of an old school theory and concept. It's been around for quite a while. many years ago. I think back in the 1930s, some backpackers and stuff started using this and planning on this and discussing the 12 essential items that you should have and carry with you when you travel in the backcountry. Now, this list has been kind of modified over the years as technologies change, equipment changes. Obviously, from the 1930s to now, things have changed quite a bit. And so some of this list has been modified a little bit. If you go back and look and do a Google search for the 10 classic essentials, you'll find what those are. But this is kind of the modified version that works for us nowadays. I'm going to put up some of this stuff. It's going to go right over my face for a minute. But some of the questions you want to ask yourself when you're getting out in the backcountry and when you're talking about emergency planning and essentials, items to carry. One of the first questions, can you respond positively to an accident or an emergency? Do you have the equipment and the skills necessary to respond positively and take care of that issue? Second, can you safely spend a night or more outside in the backcountry if you need to? If things got worse and got terrible, if they started going downhill for you on your trip or something happens, are you able to spend a night safely outdoors with what you're packing along? And that's what this 10 essentials is kind of going to go in and discuss. So as we jump into this, we're just going to quickly go through these. I want to try and keep these chats down to about a half an hour long. So 10 essentials for backcountry travel. Number 1, navigation. Do you have the means and the ability to navigate to and from your destination and your location? Now, over the years, this has kind of changed to where we're using a lot more GPSs now instead of just map and compass, but sometimes maps and compass work really well. I know with search and rescue, we focus a lot on those two items. We train frequently with the map and compass and kind of work through those because sometimes the GPS may not get signal or you forget your batteries, which is another thing you might want to consider. It won't be on the list, but if you're carrying these electronics, batteries are key critical to the function of those. So navigation, making sure you've got a way to get to and from your destination. Sun protection, especially out here in Utah and in the desert areas, sun protection is huge. And it's often overlooked as being an essential item. I know I myself am really kind of, when it comes to sunscreen and stuff, I don't care for the gritty feeling that sunscreen gives me, and I have to be kind of careful what I use. But sun protection out here is hugely important, especially in the summer. It can be, the matter of life and death sometimes if you're getting too exposed. Hats, sunglasses, those kind of things. Some people wear long sleeve clothing, long sleeve shirts, long pants, just to keep that sun off of their body while they're out hiking around. And even in some of the slot canyons we get into, I prefer long sleeves and pants, especially for the scrapage and whatnot, if you're familiar with that and how that ends up being. So that's huge. Next, we have insulation layers. And this is going to kind of depend and vary on the time of year and the season you're running in and traveling through. Wintertime, as we're coming in, obviously you're going to need more insulation than summertime. You want to make sure you've got the options and availability to layer up or layer down if it gets too warm, and change that up. So throwing some layers in there in your pack. Even in the summer, again, some of those long sleeve shirts and clothing, there's some lightweight stuff out there that could really help you out. The rain jackets, some rain jackets are really good for wind protection, aside from just the water that they're designed for in the rain. They help with wind, which also helps to keep you pretty warm. Illumination. Again, we talked about in the beginning, one of the questions you want to answer is, can you survive the night? And to be able to do that, you may need to have some illumination. So being able to light your way, whether it's traveling through the canyon or through the backwoods, or whether it's just around a camp or it's finding a spot to sleep and stuff. You just want to make sure that you're able to see and take care of those issues. First aid. First aid will be our next item in this list. First aid should be kind of self-explanatory. If you have an emergency or something that you need to take care of, you want to be able to have the emergency medical means to do so, and be able to resolve those issues. Now, along with that, emergency first aid, one thing that I always talk about, I'm going to come back up here for just a sec and pop back into the camera. One thing that I discuss when we do classes and training courses, first aid is hugely critical, and it can be a means of life and death sometimes. If you don't have the means to treat it, things can go bad. But first aid for a lot of people could be many different things. I've got a friend who's a nurse, and I tell the story a lot that when they first started canyoneering, they were carrying big packs of first aid gear into the canyons. She's gotten better. We've worked with her. She's not carrying quite as much now. If you're watching, hi Tammy. Anyway, she's gotten better, and I'm not throwing her under the bus or anything. It's just kind of an example that the skill that she has with first aid and knowledge is going to differ from what you may have as far as how you're going to carry stuff. I've had doctors and nurses in classes who carry suture kits into canyons and into the backcountry just in case they need to fix cuts and stuff. I can't do a suture, so I'm not going to carry that. But your experience level should tell you a lot of what you should be able to carry and what you can do. Aside from that, if you don't have any experience or first aid skills, I highly recommend getting some. I'm going to talk about that here in just a minute again. So, first aid kits, fantastic. Carry what you can use and what you're familiar with. And again, take it out of the package, dump it out on the floor, and look through it and see what's in there so you know exactly what you have. Okay, fire starters. Moving on to our next one. Obviously, this is kind of self-explanatory. If you get stuck overnight and have an emergency, or I've had instances where we've had people, scouts mainly, scouts are notorious for getting themselves in trouble, where we've had some of them fall into water while we're out hiking and be bitter cold, and we've had to start fires during the day to warm them up. Just emergency stuff like that. Obviously, at nighttime, fires are hugely critical. A few years ago, actually a year and a half ago now, with search and rescue, we were out on a call, and we got up onto the rim of a canyon with our search and rescue team, and we were trying to locate the parties below us who were just stuck down in the slot canyon. If anybody's familiar with the Black Hole Canyon, that's one of our most popular slot canyons out here that's had periodic rescues in them for various reasons. And up on the rim of this canyon, we decided that safety-wise and personnel-wise, it was better for us to just not go into the canyon in the middle of the night with the water that was running in there. And we knew the group was in there. We knew where they were at. We didn't know where we were at in relation to them. And we felt it better to wait till daytime. And we knew that they were ledged up and they were out of harm's way too. So we laid there on the rim and built a fire. And our team slept along the rim right there for the night, waiting for the sun to come up. So fire starters are huge. They take many different forms, from flint and steel to lighters and matches, whatnot. Flares, road flares, are a really good thing to carry in a pack, especially for search and rescue. Maybe not necessarily for backcountry travel, but a flare will start a fire really good if you need to, if you got wet wood or something. That's going to be really a good fire starter. We've done that before. All right, moving on. Repair kit and tools. Again, vital. Probably pretty self-explanatory. If you've got equipment that's failing or has issues, you're going to need some way to repair it. Duct tape, Gorilla Tape's fantastic. Stuff that works really well to fix things. Tools, pocket knife. Can't go wrong having a knife with you, especially when you're doing rope work and need to cut ropes and webbing and whatnot. Knives are going to be hugely critical. Nutrition, should go without saying again. Nutrition, vitally important when you're in the backcountry. And again, when we're talking about the 10 essentials, think about it in terms of being able to travel overnight, being able to survive without having any problems or real struggles yourself. So nutrition, I always encourage you to pack enough for 2 days, whether that's just little stuff, Cliff Bars, granola bars, gummies. Fresh fruit is fantastic for the natural fibers, natural sugars, and that kind of stuff that's in there. But the fresh fruit obviously doesn't last and stay as well as some of the other processed food, like the Cliff Bars, the granolas, and other things. So nutrition, hugely good. Hydration, again, goes without saying. You should pack enough hydration for an extended trip if you can. The downside with hydration is sometimes it does get a little weighty, a little heavy with it, so it can be kind of hard to pack more than you really need. And packing extra can be kind of hard. If you're in a big group, sometimes it's easier to distribute that weight a little bit. Lots of different things out there for hydration, obviously. But some, like the Gatorade or some other mixes, those work really well also to help with your hydration levels and help keep you hydrated. Moving on, our final item, I should say, in the 10 essentials list is going to be our shelter. Getting something that you can use to protect your head, your body, keep some heat, some warmth in if necessary. I carry some of these items in my search and rescue pack. In my canyoneering pack, I have some smaller items, some space blankets and those kind of things that I do carry with me in canyoneering. I do carry a small bivy sack when canyoneering. So just some of those extra little things that can offer some comfort. So there you have it. There is the 10 essentials for backcountry travel. And I've seen it play out a lot over the years where in different scenarios these things have come in handy. Again, I mentioned the search and rescue group we had out on the cliff. Just having been able to start a fire, we laid out our packs and our gear, and I had enough stuff in there that I stayed warm. It was midsummer, I should say. It was first weekend of July. So it was warm out anyways until about 4 in the morning. Got a little nippy, but we were able to have enough gear with us that we stayed warm enough. Just slept right on the rocks through the night and didn't have to worry about too much of shelter. Now this time of year, that's going to be a lot different. So you're going to want to pack a little bit more shelter if you're going out this time of year anywhere. A couple years ago, one of my buddies, again, not to throw him under the bus or anything, but he was out in January with his family doing a canyon, and they had a few mishaps here and there through the trip. And it come out that they got stuck in the canyon. Out in North Wash, they were doing one of the leprechauns, and they got stuck there through a few incidences where they had some rocks fall and kind of get equipment caught up and had some issues. Nobody was injured. Everybody was fine, but it slowed their progress down until it was dark before they didn't make it out of the canyon that night. But because they were prepared and had the items they needed, they had extra insulation, extra clothing, they had fire starters, they had headlamps, they had shelters with them. They had everything they needed. They did have plenty of, probably not plenty of food, but they had some food. and they did have enough water, other than one of the mishaps they had ended up smashing a camelback, and they lost their water. But we were out there first thing in the morning, and we were able to get them some refreshments and stuff, so not too critical. But having those emergency items, again, fire, light, heat, shelter, they did fine through the night there in January in a canyon. So just being prepared and having that stuff with them. And it kind of goes down to a few extra things. There's a few other things I like to add to this list as far as some extra essentials. Insect repellent, depending on the time of the year. Where's my head? Depending on the time of the year, insect repellent could be critical. Communication. Communication is vitally important when you're out in the backcountry. Now this could be, I'm going to slide over here a little bit. This could be anything from handheld radios, which we carry when we're out guiding sometimes, to personal locator beacon, which I always carry with me. If you're not familiar with personal locator beacons, I would highly, highly recommend those, especially where there's no cell service out in most of these areas. But it could also just be a whistle, something to holler for help. Now, a whistle's not going to get anybody miles and miles away, but when a search party starts looking for you or something, it can help bring them in closer to where you're at. So communication is hugely important. Again, signaling devices, again, if search and rescue is close by you or looking for you, signaling devices could bring them in closer. Whistles, smoke, flares, signaling mirrors, those kind of things. So knife, I mentioned that, but it's hugely important to always have a knife with you when you're in the backcountry. Always important to be prepared that way. And then knowledge. Knowledge is, again, one thing I mentioned a few minutes ago. If you're out in the backcountry and have the medical knowledge that's necessary for emergencies, you're going to feel a lot more comfortable, a lot better, a lot easier to handle the situations when they arise. I highly recommend a wilderness first aid course, or if not that, at least minor CPR and first aid courses, which a lot of local ambulance services and hospitals may offer. So check those out. I highly recommend some of that. Well, there you go. 10 essentials plus my extras. A few stories. There's always something in the backcountry that could go wrong. Hopefully it never does for anybody. But being able to get out and do things safely is vitally critical. You want to be able to return home. Always, always, always tell somebody where you're going and what you're doing. And apparently my camera doesn't like me. I thought we had that tested. Sorry about that. I've been messing with this camera for every time we do these, and I thought I had it set today so it wasn't going to go off after 30 minutes. Oh well, back to the drawing board on that one. Anyways, just be prepared. Be prepared to get out in the backcountry and handle situations that may arise. So, aside from that, I wish you all the best of luck this holiday season. I hope you all have a fantastic season. If there's anything we can do for you, let me know. If you're watching this video after the live stream on the recorded session, leave us a comment. Tell us what you liked, what you experiences you've had with the 10 essentials, or what you might add to your kit, even to be safer. Add that in. Leave us a comment. I'm going to leave you now with an outro video for a few minutes. Take a look at that. I'm going to jump into the chat and answer any questions there via chat, and if I need to, I'll jump back in here, but if not, we'll see you later. Well, let's see. Before I do that, let's see if there's any questions right now I can answer live. Nothing right now. So either I'm that good or that boring. Anyway, if you guys got questions, I'll jump over there right now. Enjoy the video for a few minutes, and thanks for paying attention and watching tonight.
We are headed to Blarney.
Blarney Canyon today, baby!
We've got a few clients that we're picking. Well, they're meeting us out there. We're going to hope and pray there's no water. But if there is,
Please.
If there is, that's all right.
It's all right. It's just,
I'm fine with it.
yeah. It just adds a little more dynamics to the canyon if there is.
Oh yeah.
It's all good. We'll get heading out to the canyon. Meet up with these guys in just a few minutes and get geared up and head out. Come along with us. Here we go.
But
I'm trying to choose your knee pad. Oh, wait. Nice.
no coughing.
I'm trying.
I heard that.
Tony. What do you guys think?
Pretty fun. Pretty cool.
A blast.
Oh, there's no camera. Knees, elbows.
Hips.
Yep. Use it all. A little skinnier. Rock star. Freaking rock star.
This one's cool.
Yeah, that water bottle is gonna
Oh, she might be upgraded again. Look at that. What do you think, Karen?
I'm trying to get out of video. I'm a ninja.
He's pro level 4.
He's heavily insured.
So narrow, you can get your foot trapped in there.
Yeah.
So don't get your foot wedged.
I'd start sliding out towards Rob a little
Yeah,
bit.
slide out a little bit.
127 hours.
One second now, one farther there.
Nice.
Can't leave that like that.
We're back. We're live. We made it. What do you guys think?
Awesome.
How's the car ride home gonna be?
Quiet.
We're worn out.
It's always a good day. Blarney Canyon's always a good day. Good strong day.
It was awesome.